Well, tonight is our first regional meeting, and just as a reminder to everyone, we have 3 regional teams, and the purpose of that was to keep giving you Brian as an example. Instead of you driving clear up to where David lives in South Adams, or David driving clear down to Attica, we're doing regional meetings so we can share information with one another without people leaving their home. So that was the purpose. So what's going to happen tonight is each person is going to give us kind of an overview of where you're at in your school improvement project. And so you have 2 to 3 minutes to do that. And then I'm going to ask you about 10 specific questions, including how you're doing in your question sets and clinical observations and things of that nature. Okay? So it really doesn't matter who starts, and we'll just piggyback off one another. Okay?
I can start. My school improvement project has to deal with our school's initiatives to meet Common Core's. Basically taking a 3-pronged approach. One is I'm leading some professional development after school once a month for the entire year to deal with Common Core strategies, and basically it's an article study that it's a voluntary thing where teachers can come and basically the articles deal with Common Core strategies in the classroom. Secondly, I've been dealing with our 8th grade PLCs at this point, and what I've been doing is taking lessons that they already have and trying to fit those into the standards with Common Cores, and trying to give them strategies to basically deal with the Common Core standards a little bit better and move in that direction. And then my 3rd initiative was to start a school-wide like writing program. So basically, like each month, we'd focus on one thing, whether it's writing complex sentences or a reading strategy or something like that. Anyway, what I've been it's not complete, but what I've been trying to do was get a few teachers on board, collaborate, come up with some writing initiatives, and then post something on our school's website and get a video so that they can go through, and it would be very easy for a teacher who doesn't teach English to teach and reinforce some of the strategies that we're working on in the English classroom.
Good. Good.
I guess I can go ahead and go. My project that I'm working on is a school and community outreach program, and that is basically designed to go along with our health and wellness programs and our initiatives there. It is Attica's community, or Attica's family night, and we open up the school facilities to different groups and different programs every Wednesday night during the winter time, from our fall break to our spring break. We have different programs with all of the youth sports organizations in town, with several different community organizations. We're also kind of trying out a few new things with it, in trying to get different groups of our teachers or administrators out as the supervision to kind of link up and get some of the more relaxed environment type of connections going throughout the community. Right now we've scheduled it to where we're hoping to be able to have the supervision done by one grade level or one department level each time, so that it's something that we can advertise, come out and meet the 2nd grade teachers or whatever else. We are hoping to have one youth sports clinic, 2 different activities, and 2 different fitness classes during our time. Some of the activities that we've got are an Attica History Night that's coming along. A lot of the different departments are actually sponsoring an evening to come out, and our art department is going to make gingerbread houses near Christmas and those sorts of things, just to get people to come out and make those connections with faculty on a much more friendly level.
So this project is not just for high school.
No, this is community-wide.
I'm sorry, it's not just your building.
Right. It's for the corporation.
You chose school community-wide. Okay, good. Okay. Both you have different leaders, so that's going to be unique. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So, Mike, go ahead.
Yeah. Mine is my improvement project here is to kind of working on integrating that technology to the curriculum, or the The high school just spends millions of dollars renovating the school, and they added a lot of technology into the building. So it's kind of working that, but it's more focused with training the teachers, not just how to use the technology, but how to effectively use it and as part of their teaching and their curriculum. So it's going in that direction there with that, and then with the plan of going one-to-one next year with MacBook Airs, and how to keep that rolling as well. So so it's kind of looking at that, and then I've kind of added the middle school with this as well. With that, they're going to see that once the grade stuff becomes official later this month, that they're going to need to see improvement in their growth from there. So we're adding kind of the Compass Learning component, with the technology that we have there, and getting that going, and trying to work with them to be able to incorporate and integrate that.
Good overview. All right, so question one, we'll just go backwards now.
Okay.
How was the SIP, or School Improvement Project, everybody's just going to call it SIP from this point on, introduced to the staff?
With mine at the, really the teachers knew that they were going to have this technology. So basically it was my job to get in front and say, we can't just let it sit here and collect that and collect the dust there. So we had to, I had to kind of, it's almost, using my coaching, my motivational stuff there, that we got to get going, with this, and especially now with the teachers' plate so full, more full than probably they've ever been, with so much stuff going on, that there was some resistance from that standpoint. There's resistance from those who've been teaching there for a long time and not really wanting to change their ways here as we go to it. So there's that resistance going on there, but as a whole, I think everybody was on board, excited to be in pretty much a new building, and kind of getting that started there. So it's been received very well.
The newest update to the program I'm working on was actually introduced to the faculty at the end of a RISE training session, where we were explaining domains 1 and 3, and it was kind of time to be rolled out there, since I was having to ask for a lot of volunteer help, that the principals made it very clear that helping out with this program was also a very useful thing in domain 3, and could be used as information for that. So that was very useful, actually. It was had a lot of really quick volunteers.
And you rolled it out?
Yes.
Okay. Add that, I just need to know too, if someone else introduced it,
Yeah.
or what was your role in that? So.
Our principal, Brett Gretzmacher, pretty much introduced me as the intern in the first faculty meeting, said that me, Eric Huffman, was going to be doing some intern initiatives for the school, and it was later on where I actually sought out people, or the PLCs, to actually, hey, I'd like to work with you on this, or I'd like to work with you on this. The book talk stuff was introduced by Brett Gretzmacher, and then this other part is something that's still in the works right now, where we're looking to do some kind of monthly writing initiative or reading initiative. So that's still in the works. But anyway, I was introduced as the intern, and I felt pretty comfortable.
Good. And that's great to know for everybody to understand that these are initiatives. They may take what you start out with, or what you chose last year, and what you end up with may be totally different. We don't know. It's going to be what's best for the kids, and so that's good to know. So again, flipping back now, if you can briefly go over what are your goals of your school improvement project? And when I say that, it's a little different than what you did with your introduction. You don't have to have 3 goals. You may have 1 goal, but what is that goal of this school improvement project?
I mean, the ultimate goal is to improve our writing scores in ISTEP. And whatever that, those Common Core tests, was it the PARC test, look like, that's going to be the ultimate goal, is to short-term, the ISTEP, and long-term, the PARC tests. But for right now, I mean, it's basically, I guess the short-term goals are to get teachers involved. And that could be, from the Facebook talks, and there's a number of people involved, a number of people, dealing with the technology part of the blog that I've been doing. So anyway, there's a lot of small goals in, going into the one larger goal, which is to improve ISTEP in park scores.
Which is very miserable.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yeah, mine is a little less measurable than that, in the fact that we're looking for partnerships within the community and the different kinds of outreaches, and linking up with that the fitness aspect of most of the things that we're looking to do. We're really trying to measure in terms of the number of partnerships, the different organizations that we can become in touch with, and basically the number of face-to-face encounters that we can create with parents and students and teachers outside the classroom are the things that we're really looking for.
And just so everybody knows, there's no right or wrong here. This is all about the experience. It's about a process. You're learning how to do this. As we talked about before we went on camera, this is get you prepared so that when you're the principal and you have to present a school improvement project and be that instructional leader with the state, you've had some experience in doing this and introducing it to the staff and setting goals that are measurable, and et cetera, et cetera. So there's no right or wrong in any of this. So, Mike?
Kind of the big picture here. Obviously, we want to increase student achievement. We want to increase student engagement with the technology there, and really just creating. It's really kind of creating a plan. Really, it's kind of a technology plan. As a whole there, and can we sustain it and this and that. It's looking at the different tools that we can use that we have available to us, either the hardware or the software, the apps, and that sort of thing. And then it's really taking kind of I'm going to kind of call it a leadership team together to be able to kind of keep going forward, because it's a shift in how teachers teach and how they're used to teaching. So it's that process there. How are we going to begin that change to is our ultimate goal to be a flipped classroom or whatnot, but how are we going to get there? Because it's not going to change overnight.
This next question's multifaceted, so let me read it to you and then let you absorb it. And then we'll try to break it out. The question is, what is your leadership role been since the inception of the school improvement project, which you chose? It may have been a combination where you sit down with Brett and you decide what to do, when you were developing this, but the point was, this was your idea. This was something that you came up with, maybe in conjunction, maybe not. So, and not only what has your role been since the beginning or inception of it, but have you had to make adjustments? Mike, we were talking again off camera. You had to make adjustments. You have a new job.
Right.
So the school improvement project, maybe what you chose was totally different than what you need at Lebanon. We all know that. If you go from if you went from Tecumseh to Jeff, your school project would be totally different.
Right.
So, those things, we have to make adjustments. We call it in administration correct in flight. Because you know how it is when you're teaching. You could be teaching a concept and you look out, you've got the deer in the headlight looks, and you say, let's start again. So there may have been some adjustments that had been made. And how are you trying to record the progress of this? I mean, are you really looking at data? Or in your situation, I'm assuming this is totally new to the community. And if so, was it Wednesday nights? If every Wednesday night you start out, you only had 3 or 4 people.
This is something that actually I started last winter and went through a trial period. So we do have some beginning.
So you do have some data?
Yeah, we do
Okay.
have some data and some numbers as to attendance and that sort of thing. So we do have something to build off of. This is something I've been working at for quite a while to get up and going. So
Good.
Because Attica's basically for probably 15 years has made Wednesday nights sacred.
Yeah.
Everything shuts down at 6 p.m. School is closed. In order to do this, I've had to lay some groundwork well in advance to break that down and allow for the family time. The family nature of it is what finally sold it to the school board.
Which is great. Excuse me, which is great because there's many school communities north of us that on Wednesday nights you have no activities.
Yeah.
Because it's family church night.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's making adjustments to the community too. So
Yeah.
why don't you finish there, Brian, since you started, what has your leadership role been since the beginning of this? Yours is a little bit longer, and have you had to make adjustments?
Yeah, the leadership role has basically been that the idea was something that I've had for several years and been trying to sell for quite some time. The school board simply wasn't receptive to it for a very long time. Last year, as it became part of the project idea from class, was something that I was able to kind of push a little harder, and it carried a little bit more weight that way. But eventually, I did take the entire idea in front of the school board with the help of the then principal and organized the ideas, put things in front of them, and finally they gave us the green light to set up a pilot program for the last 6 weeks before spring break. And we were able to go through and try it out with just the athletic facilities, not much of the other things that we're hoping to add to it. So we kind of decided to grow into it a little bit this year and add a few more things, try and reach out to more parts of our faculty and more parts of our community.
Adjustments made?
Adjustments made have been in ways of finding supervision for all the different venues that we're opening up. With the rise and the incentive there, it's made a significant difference.
That's domain, what, 3?
3 for leadership. That our principals are very supportive of it. Both the elementary and high school principals have told their staff that, hey, this is definitely something that would fit in here and would look favorably. So the addition of the different programs and the outreach to the youth sports organizations and some of the other community organizations that would come in are kind of the adjustments and the additions to what the program was before.
And just as a reminder to everyone, because there are 4 components, doesn't mean you have to use all 4. But that's up to the individual school district. So, and I know there's many districts that are choosing not to use the leadership component because it's hard to measure.
It is, and that's one thing that we're struggling with. I'm actually on that committee as well. We are piloting the full RISE model this year, and so we're scrambling for, okay, how do you document this? How do you not overwhelm people with trying to document domains 1 and 3 are the big things right now that are kind of up in the air, and it's got our faculty going a little nuts.
Yeah. It's the year of uncertainty, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's very, very difficult. Mike or Eric?
I'll go. My role's been very collaborative. I think for the most part, you know, it's been in our culture here at Tecumseh to do an article study or a book study, you know, pretty much every week, and it's strictly a volunteer thing. But Brett has kind of said, hey, this is going to be, you know, your thing, and he gave me the kind of leeway to pick out which articles that we would study and what we would cover. I get to make the discussion questions, and you know, the teaching of or the leading of adults is much different than teaching kids, and so there's been some adjustments there, and the approach that I take for that. On the other side of that, when I work with the PLCs, it's very collaborative because their expertise, for example, I work with the social studies PLC, their expertise is in the curriculum of social studies, whereas my expertise would be more in writing and reading. And so anyway, our collaboration is key there, and I think that's, you know, the best of both worlds, and it's been productive. And you know, I think the adjustments to that will be down the road. You know, how we work together as departments, and you know, doing what's best for kids, because really all teachers in the future are going to be teachers of literacy, and that's something that's new to science teachers and sometimes social studies teachers and even math teachers. Math teachers are kind of like, I got to teach, and that's coming down the pike a little bit, that they're going to have some reading and writing strategies in the classroom. It's just part of it. So anyway, we're in uncharted waters for some people, so it's kind of interesting.
Well, for everybody here, we all know, and for the rest of our class, that nobody on your faculty, when you're the instructional leader or in your internship, can argue with doing what's best for kids. They can't argue. They may not agree with everything you do, but they can't argue with, is it best for kids? So that's always your out.
Right.
So always use that. So, Mike?
And so mine's been kind of in different types of roles, you know, as getting started there. And really, kind of my actual job with this is, you know, just, you know, playing out like the policies and procedures and rolling stuff out and parent meetings and things like that. So that's kind of my job side I have to do. But so kind of working this playing with the teachers, and the integration part is, you know, really the playing part. So it's not really, so I'm trying to separate the two a little bit. So it's not my full-time job here I'm doing with that. But within that, kind of, you know, it's, you know, me with the whole group there. You know, it's me with a small group, and it's me one-on-one. You know, so it's a very wide range of different roles that I take here and working and getting some of this stuff going as we get started here. And the biggest hurdle is probably with anything with technology is when it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So either technology's not working or the person doesn't know how to use it as well yet. But those are obviously things that happen and things that we got to continue to go forward with.
Well, what have been some of the strengths and weaknesses so far? You may have none. I don't know. You may have one, you may have none. So just not sure. What are they?
Some of the weaknesses of this whole thing, I'm sure some of these other guys will probably say, this resistance. You know, sometimes when you're starting something new, or when you're asked to do something, there's maybe some staff resistance, or maybe, hey, we've never done it that way before. You know, why do we have to do it that way now? But it's kind of the reminder of, you know, what is best for kids, and it's better to, I guess in my case, to kind of get ahead of the game and plan before you're expected to actually input. You know, Common Cores don't take effect until 2014, I believe. But you know, if you plan ahead, you're going to be ahead of the game, and it's going to be a good thing, and it's not going to crush you, and you're going to be prepared for it.
Yeah, because we don't know what else is going to be added on by
Right.
2014.
Exactly.
So let's get it going right now. You know, it's a good point, because teacher resistance, especially if you're working with a veteran staff, which I don't know, it doesn't make any difference, but they have that old mindset of the old TTSP, this too shall pass type of thing. And so they don't want to get involved, especially with the new guy or the new lady doing it.
Sure.
Because, and that's why I said earlier, you have to emphasize this is what's best for kids. So, and if they think they're going to get ahead of the game, which they are, knowing the Common Core now,
Yeah.
that will make it a lot easier for the 14-15 school year.
And I guess our goal maybe is to get a couple of projects, a couple of units down now, so then they're not overwhelmed in 2014.
Great point. That'll work.
And I'll just piggyback on this too shall pass comment there with that. So one of the things that I did at the very beginning was with the technology, and is have that veteran teacher who, you know, most people in the building think won't touch this stuff, you know, won't do anything, to actually, you know, really work with that person to, you know, get some things implemented in the classroom. So that person is now a role model to the other veteran teachers there, that they see if that person's doing it, I can do it.
Yeah, great point.
Well, a lot of times that technology can make their job easier. I don't know if that's the case.
Once they realize
what
that.
you're doing.
And once they realize how to do it.
Yeah.
But it's great that you have that role, that you can help them with that, because that's a huge difference. Because let's face it, not many administrators in the state of Indiana have a role of technology like you do. It's a
Right.
very unusual assistant principal role, which is great. Maybe it's something that will
I wish
become.
we had. All the
Right.
technological things that we've rolled out, that would be nice. So far as strengths and weaknesses of the Family Night program, strength has been the overwhelmingly positive response from the community organizations. They think it's wonderful to have that opportunity as a way to sell or promote their own program with just kind of a teaser thing. One of the things that we're doing is a preview of the fall play and the spring musical. We have a preview the Wednesday night before the performance. They're absolutely elated with the ability to advertise and those sorts of things. Weakness, though, is the difficulty in getting a staff in a small school that already has everything to do, and we have a very small number for all the extracurriculars. Just about everybody's a coach. And so getting everybody to buy in, to commit to, even if it's 1 or 2 Wednesdays out of their entire calendar, getting a final commitment out of people and pinning things down is proving to be one of the biggest difficulties at this point.
Well, we all know that we do these things because our goal is to benefit kids.
Mm-hmm.
But are you seeing or do you anticipate seeing some benefits that you didn't even think about when you began this?
Some unexpected positives. I'm learning a lot more about other curriculums, which I kind of thought I would, but I'm learning probably just how to network a little bit better as well, because now I can figure out, hey, how do I benefit this person and this person, and we get some kind of mutual benefit. And I think it's just some networking skills that maybe I haven't had to do before, so it's a good benefit for me.
Yeah, I am seeing the same kind of benefit with the networking throughout the community with this program. The number of people that is putting me in touch with is phenomenal. I mean, just the different things that we can sell about the school and the different types of people and groups that we can bring in this way has been wonderful. One contact leads me to 3 more. Hey, why don't you put this in, and why don't you find a way to include that? And so the networking aspect of it has been great.
And within that collaboration too, it kind of leads off to other things in different areas that, not just this project here, but, something else will come up and say, well, I've got, maybe these people in the community or these teachers right here would be good to, work with, starting, looking at park, what's coming ahead, or, this and that. So that collaboration there is more than just, our project here that we're doing. It's kind of opens a lot of doors here and to help the school grow, which and then helps to achievement there.
Well, there's very logical sequences of why we have like 616 school community collaboration. Mm-hmm. 2 classes prior to this actual internship. Sure. Mm-hmm. So we all know. I mean, we've talked about this before. Collaboration in today's administrative makeup is so much more invaluable than it used to be. Because if you can't collaborate, you will have a very much difficult, especially in a smaller school. Mm-hmm. Attica's what, 1A?
Oh yeah.
1A, and you're 3?
3A.
3. So, totally different makeup. Even going from Frankfurt to Lebanon, it's a different makeup. Mm-hmm. So, it's very interesting times ahead of us. Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you guys this. If you were the instructional leader or the principal, how would this school improvement project change, if at all? What would you do if you were the leader and you could do whatever you wanted with this, how would it change? Other than you telling somebody else to do it.
I guess I'll start. I don't know how you can necessarily make people come after school, to volunteer, but, I guess things like this could benefit so many other people that, that aren't showing up, and it would be a benefit to everyone to, for example, like when we go through an article study and we have a great discussion, we can't make everybody come at this point. I guess that would be maybe something that, and at this point, we have our faculty meetings, which are once a month or something like that. Beyond that, you just can't make everybody come and participate and collaborate.
Is that because your contract says you can't have meetings every day if you wanted to? Or do you know?
I don't know that for sure.
That's okay. Remind me at the end, after I hear from these guys, to tell you about a great incentive program that might
Okay.